Good morning. To be ready for our final math lesson of fourth grade, you will want your Reteach and Practice 21.3 in front of you ready to go as we learn about mixed numbers and decimals. You've been doing a good job with understanding how decimals work and how they can be changed from the fraction form into the decimal form. And we've learned that decimals are less than one whole thing, and we can divide them into our place values of tenths, like this model, the smaller hundredths, and even the tiny, tiny thousandths. But so far this week, we've dealt with no wholes. We'd always often put a 0 here and we'd see what kind of pieces we have. Well, today, what's going to happen is that we're going to see that we often have whole things along with some pieces. Like, for example, when I was looking at the Fun Run or Corona Run details and results, I noticed someone that said, oh, I actually did 3.2 miles. All right, now the better way of saying that is 3 2/10 of a mile. We use decimals all the time to say I didn't run a complete 4 full miles, but somewhere between 3 and 4. And that's what our decimal range of numbers does for us. It makes us know that there are things in the middle. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at things called mixed numbers, which you already know what they are because we've seen them in fractions. Here's an example of 2 3/10. If I were to draw a simple picture of that back in my fraction unit, I would perhaps have 2 full squares and 3 little pieces of the entire, trust me, there's 10 there. All right, now today we're going to see that we can easily transfer our fraction into our decimal form by saying, oh, this is a whole number, 2 whole things. And so we're going to put that 2 in our ones place. And remember, our decimal is our separator. And so I have 3 pieces of tenths. Well, 3/10. As soon as you say that, you know that you need the digit 3 in the tenths spot. All right, and so this mixed number 2 3/10 quickly transfers to this decimal number of 2.3, or better said, 2 3/10. All right, I think you're going to have a little fun with this today. I'd like for us to start with looking at a few pictures from our math book, because they are nice, colorful examples of what we're talking about. So let's just jump down to, there's some different ways to show these numbers. Of course, we can see our model, and I see the tenths. So my mixed number will have 10 in the denominator. My place value chart is 2 8/10. Okay. Our standard form, remember, is numbers with numbers. Our word form is 2, and is where you use the word and that's why we wanted to save it for our decimals. Remember earlier in the year when we were saying big numbers like 123? Most teachers insist that you do not say 123 because the word and is reserved for reading decimals. And we could even do it with expanded form. Remind me, I hope we can do one of those at the end by just stretching out the value of each digit in a decimal number. And then again, if you have hundredths, let's take a look at that model with the blue shading. I have 2 whole boxes shaded, 2, and how many more of another one? Looks like 45. I can show that on a place value chart, standard form, word form, remembering that hyphen there, some of you missed that yesterday, and the expanded form. Look, 2 is my whole number. What's the value of this 4? 4/10, and the value of the 5 is 5/100. So just like we expanded with our Slinky bigger numbers in the whole number range, we can do the same thing with decimals. So let's do a couple practices with our picture and our colorful pictures first. Write a mixed number and a decimal to describe the shaded part of each model. So this morning, as you do your math, I suspect that your directions will be similar. You have to have 2 answers in a lot of your problems. Please make sure that you're following directions carefully. So what does that look like today? So you're looking at the whole picture as one big thing. And I hope that you can see, I'll put my answers here that you can see it. Number 1, I like to start with, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, my mixed number. I see 1, 2, 3 whole boxes. My decimal will separate that to the one that has fractional part. Well, it looks like I have 7 of the 10. So there's my decimal, 3 7/10. And if I were to write that as a fraction, it's 3 7/10. So those are my 2 answers. Number 2, let's take a look. You quickly see how many whole boxes are completely shaded, and that is 2. And what piece of the other one, well, I know that I don't have to count those 10. You know, one strip is 10, and it looks like I have a total of 16. And what size piece? I have 16 hundredths. Notice that I'm reaching 2 places to the right of my decimal into that hundred zone. And I could put it, that's equal to my fraction of 2 and 16 hundredths. This is a very big review from the last few days, except that we have whole numbers now. And what about 3? Wow, I've got to move my paper. There's so much shaded. Well, number 3, well, how many full ones do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, completely shaded, 4 ones or 4 whole things, and it looks like 9 tenths. So there's my decimal, and as I say it, I know that it's going to be 4 and 9 tenths is shaded. So with picture form, we can see it. And if I want to write a decimal here on number 4, I would simply say, oh, my 5 is my big number. So that's my whole number, and it looks like 3 tenths. I'm going to jump to number 7 because that looks a little bit different. 7 is 15 and 55 hundredths. Remember, if I see 100 in the denominator, I have to reach in 2 places to the right of my decimal. If I see thousandths, maybe we'll do number 9, you have to have 3 digits. So the correct answer for number 7 looks like it's 15 and 55 hundredths. And then what about those thousandths? Well, number 9 says I have 2 complete somethings, all right, squares or whatever you want to think about, and my fractional piece is 17 thousandths. Now this again is where sometimes people make errors. Don't be a kid that makes an error like that. If I see thousands, I've learned that thousands are 3 places to the right of a decimal, and I have 17 of them. So it makes sense to put your 17 here so it touches that thousandth spot, and I need that 0 to fill it in. 2 and 17 thousandths. Okay, so that's kind of fun today, and that's what we're going to be doing, looking at pictures and going from decimals to perhaps mixed numbers and mixed numbers to decimals. It's kind of fun when you think about that. And you know, I'm reminded of what I already know about decimals with money. We also know, for example, that if I were to have the price of $17.15 on something, well, you know that that's 17 whole dollars and 15 hundredths of another dollar. So even our knowledge of money relates to this. All right, let's get started on the reteach because I think we can move along pretty nicely today as you continue to show your understanding of decimals. So the directions on the reteach. Again, if you want to pause the video and challenge yourself to try to get the right answers without just stealing answers, good for you. I'm going to move along though, and you can manipulate the video to your pleasure. Here we go. The directions say write a mixed number and a decimal for the shaded part. So again, good math students always pay attention to directions. I need 2 answers. So I look at the entire picture together. I see 1 whole box shaded. And it looks like 1, 10, 20, 30, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my little eyes. 1 and 35 hundredths is my decimal. And if I want to write my mixed number first, it would be 1 and 35 pieces of the hundredth size. All right, those are my 2 answers. Here I have 2, let's do our mixed number first, 2 and, looks like 4 are left, so that means 6 of them are shaded, 2 and 6 tenths, I see the tenths model, and what would that be in decimal form? 2.6, because 6 is in the tenths column. Okay. All right, let's see how fast we can do this. Here's the challenge. Maybe you can shut the video off, time yourself, and let's see how we do. Ready? Write each as a decimal. 6 and 4 tenths. 15 and 5 tenths. 22 and 7 tenths. 3 and 64 1/100ths. 38 and 74 hundredths. 46 and 5/100ths. Ooh, don't be tricked by that. If you would put the 5 right there, it would be 46 and 5 tenths. Hundredths need 2 places, so it's 0, 5. Here's another tricky one. 7 and, I know with thousandths, I need 3 spaces. That 3 has to go way over here, and you need to fill in those placeholders with 0. That is a correct answer. If you put 7.3, then you have 7 3/10, don't you? Or if you put the 3 in the middle, then you have 7 3/100. That's not what it says. My denominator is thousandths. 41 23 thousandths. What if I have word form? 10 8/10. 10 8/10. And last, 3 and. Oh, remember when I see the word and is when I want the decimal. 3 and 49 hundredths, 49 hundredths. Just for fun, let's do expanded form for this last one, number 12. What does expanded form look like, in case you have to do that? Well, the value of the 3 is 3. The value of the 4 is 4/10, but I want to put it in decimal form, so this time I do 0.4 is the value of that 4 in that place. And then I would also add 9 hundredths, because the 9 is in the hundredths column. So right here is the expanded form for number 12. Excellent. I'm sure you're catching on to this. And so on the practice side, you're going to do something similar. I see the word and I see mixed numbers as decimals. I see decimals in words. Don't forget those hyphens. A couple of you got the many points off. Any number from 21 to 99 needs that little hyphen as a connector. And look what I see in number 12. I see expanded form. So we just did an example for number 12. What's the value of that 6 all by itself? 0. You can put it in or leave it out. And what's the value of that 2 all by itself? See if you can do that on your own based on our example on the other side. So fourth graders, you have gone as far as we can with the time that we have left at the end of the year. I highly encourage you, if you are able, to work through the remaining papers that are in your pack. You have several more lessons in chapter 21 about decimals and comparing decimals and rounding decimals. And usually the reteach has a really great example of just what's going on in that lesson. I would highly encourage you to work through the chapter 21 and 22 papers. In chapter 22, the idea is just adding and subtracting. And the biggest thing you need to remember is that you need to line up the decimal. Wherever that is in its number, line the decimal up, add or subtract just like you know how to do, and put the decimal, carry it down into the answer. Let me quickly show you what I mean, because coming into 5th grade, you're going to be expected to need to know how to do this. So let's say if I have 8 32 hundredths, and I want to add 17 642 thousandths. Okay, I purposely wrote it horizontally because how would you add it? You must make sure that you add up line up the decimals. So here's how I would rewrite it: 8 32 hundredths, 17 642. If I'm adding that number, okay, do you see how I lined up that decimal? I can imagine this being a 0 because I don't have any thousandths, but if you need to see it just to make it look right, 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. Bring down the decimal, put it right there in the same spot. 8 plus 7 is 15 with a little regrouping, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So my sum is 25 962 thousandths. Okay, and I could do a quick subtraction since I have a couple minutes here. Let's use those same numbers. With subtraction, you want to put the bigger decimal on top if I'm finding the difference, but the same rule applies. Line up those decimals. That's the biggest thing for adding and subtracting. You could imagine a 0 here if you'd like. Now we're subtracting. 2 take away 0 is 2. 4 take away 2 is 2. 3 minus 6 minus 3 is 3. Put the decimal in. 7 take away a you can't do. You can regroup, but it's pretty much right here for you. 17 minus 8 is 9. My difference of these two decimal numbers is 9 322 thousandths. So that's a little preview of chapter 22, which I would love for you to work through, and you will then build your confidence to begin 5th grade. It's been a pleasure to teach you, and I hope you have a wonderful summer. Thanks for all your hard work in math. I hope you've learned a lot. God bless you. Goodbye.